Alright, so it's time for another nail art video. The next one is in line is this velvet texture Sally Hansen polish. It is kind of purple for Halloween, and I was thinking about doing a Halloween something with purple. I even googled purple Halloween designs because, as I've mentioned before, I can't think of things that artistically, but because I've never tried this kind before, I'm just going to start off with just putting this on my nails, see how it feels. So it's kind of going to be like a first impression, possibly leading to a Halloween nail art. I mean, I could just leave this purple. It is called crushed, but it is like, you know, like a kind of a purplish pink, so it would still be okay for Halloween. And like I said, I might just go in and add something to it later, but this is really going to be a first impression. I did actually go ahead and read the directions because I've never read directions on nail polish bottles before, but over the summer I went to use a Sally Hansen color foil, and that was also new to me. And in using it, I put my base coat on, and then I went to put it on, and it was just like glopping, and it looked so weird. So I read the directions, and it says do not use base coat or something along those lines, best if not used with base coat. Something about not using a base coat, and I did, so I messed it up. So I have learned my lesson, especially on new specialty nail polishes. So I would consider this a specialty nail polish because it is velvet texture. It's not just plain regular polish. So this is really going to be like a first impression. See if I like the velvety texture, see if it really actually has a texture. You know, I'm just going to see how it goes. So the directions are: shake gently, apply one coat, allow to dry completely, apply second thin coat. So it does not say anything about a top coat or a base coat, but I did not get a top coat. I just have my regular base coat because I don't want the pink or purplish color staining my nails. So I am going to do the base coat, but as of this moment I am not doing a top coat, and I'm not doing any design as of right now. I'm just going to see what this polish does. So let's go ahead and get everything started with the base coat. Alright, now that I've got the base coat on, just gonna let that dry a little bit while I gently shake this velvet texture nail polish. So again, the one I'm using, trying out, first impression, whatever you want to call this video, Sally Hansen velvet texture, and the color is crushed. So I'm just going to shake this gently. So I've shaken it a little bit, and I've shaken my hands to make sure that the base coat is completely dry. I do not want to mess it up for user error. So I'm going to apply my first coat. It does not say how thick or thin to do it, so we're just going to wing it. And the brush is one of those skinny fat brushes, so those are a little bit trickier to work with, but they still work. Alright, here we go. One coat on the pinky. Nothing special yet, so we will just keep going. Alright, so before I go in on my next hand. We'll just see what it's doing. So it looks like it is drying pretty, oops. It is getting unglossy. So you can tell the difference between this one, which is still in the drying process, and this one, which is not shiny at all. So that seems to be what it's doing, the difference in the polish. So let's just continue on with the next hand. Alright, so now I have the first coat on, and it says to let it completely dry. So let's just go in and see if we can see a difference from the first coat that I put on. So there is, I mean, these ones are still glossy. And these ones are all pretty matte looking. So, I mean, not sure how I like it. This one looks pretty dry. Let's touch it. Ooh. I will say it feels weird. Which, I mean, on bottles like these, you can feel, like, you can see the label. I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to feel like, or something similar to that. When they do specialty, you can just tell from the difference from the bottle and the label here. I would say that the nail is more rigid than the label, but it is similar. So it is kind of that rough, bumpy kind of texture. Now I do, in all of my nail art collection, have velvet flocking powder, and it is like little pieces of velvet or something like that, and I have used it in the past. I think I used it last Christmas for some specialty nails, and it is not at all like that. Like, that one is more fuzzy. This is not fuzzy at all. It's very, I don't know how to describe it, and I wish that you could see. I don't think you can even, well, yeah, I guess you can. It's not smooth. Do you see how bumpy it is? You can see right there. If my camera will stay focused, you can see on the nails that it is bumpy, especially on the pointy finger. You can really see that bumpiness. But altogether, I think we're pretty dry. Well, I mean, on this hand, it's really smooth. I don't think that this hand is completely dry because it's not, it does not look the same. So I think it might have to dry some more, especially the pinky. I mean, it's just smooth compared to all the other ones. So I'm going to let this finish drying, because it says to let it be completely dry, and I know I never follow the directions. Oh, why? Why should I wait? Why should I let this one be the first time I follow directions? Okay, I'm just gonna go in with my second coat. And it's really not looking Halloween at all. It's actually a pretty girly color. It's I don't know what color you would call it. Maybe fuchsia? I don't know if that's coming through, but it looks kind of like a fuchsia, like a purple, but it definitely is on the pinker side of purple. Yeah, it does not look very Halloween-y. I thought it would be darker. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off this video. This is going to be a first impression kind of video. I might actually even title it that, First Impression of the Velvet. And if I do decide to do a Halloween nail art, I might just do it tomorrow, adding it on to this. We'll see how I like it as a full manicure for a day or two. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in now with the second coat. Okay, so that did actually deepen out the color quite a bit. You can see there, well, I don't know if you can, where I did not quite get the coat covered. It is much more pink. And I do actually think I might have done it, oops, forgot to zoom out. Shoddy camera work here. I do actually think I might have gone on, it did say a second thin coat. Maybe I went a little bit too thick. But it's getting there. It's getting bumpy on these few nails. But altogether, I would say it's a unique polish. It feels it's not smooth at all. It's kind of bumpy. So I'm just going to let it grow on me, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to leave it for at least a day with just this. No top coat, no design, just the nail polish itself, and see how I like it. See if I can, you know, actually feel the texture after I wash my hands a couple of times. You know, like I said, this is just going to be like a first impression kind of video. Just see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and then I will just film a second video of either nail art, or if something goes wrong and I don't like it, a review type video. But this is just my kind of first impression of applying it and experiencing it for the first time. So altogether, not too shabby. But like I said, we will see what happens after a day-ish of wearing it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.